What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. The Hardy Boys back together, fan outrage at Walter's name change, some are Rae angry with WWE, is a superstar leaving WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the Hardy Boys back together. Now, topping today's news is a big announcement concerning Matt and Jeff Hardy. Hardy fans can now rejoice as Team Extreme has announced their official return to the ring. Fans of Team Extreme have been asking when will they reunite ever since Jeff's WWE release. But now Big Time Wrestling is tweeting Hardy Boys team for the first time in 3 years. Saturday, March 12th, Webster, Mass. More tour dates to come. Now we'll follow this story as well as whether Jeff plans on joining Matt in AEW. Wrestling fans are already salivating at the prospect of a Hardys vs Young Bucks dream match, as well as other top teams like the Lucha Brothers, FTR and Jurassic Express. While it might seem odd for the Hardys to work on the indie scene rather than in a major promotion, the reality is that some indie promotions are willing to throw phenomenal paydays at in-demand wrestlers, and the Hardys reunion is arguably one of the hottest tickets in town. As for Brother Nero coming to AEW, the biggest question is likely how confident AEW President Tony Khan is that Jeff's personal demons won't resurface. Next up, fans flip out over Walter's name change. A congratulations to the WWE for infuriating fans with its new name for NXT UK superstar Walter. Fans tuning into the 18th January NXT saw Walter debut his new name Gunther after defeating Roderick Strong in a heated match. Fans were baffled by the WWE's decision to change Walter's name, particularly since he used it debuting in NXT at 2019 and distinguishing himself with an incredible record-breaking 870-day reign as NXT UK champion. Now, a number of wrestlers commented on Walter's new name change, including former WWE superstar Keith Lee, who tweeted, "Man, if what I'm hearing is real, poor Walter." Lance Storm harkened back to one of his less memorable WWE personas, tweeting, "Need I remind everyone Vince saw me as the partying dancing guy? Gunther is too much of a stretch all of a sudden?" Of course, a number of fans tweeted their dislike of the name. Now, you may recall that WWE trademarked the name Gunther Stark, which may be the promotion's attempt to lock down the name if the former NXT UK champion finds success in NXT 2.0 and on the main roster. WWE fans know it's standard operating procedure for the WWE to change wrestlers' names so that they can lay claim to the characters. What do you guys think of Walter's new name? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a top AEW star returning to Dynamite. Now, the 19th January edition of Dynamite is looking to be a major event as AEW has announced the return of 2 top stars. The first is former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, who recently took time off to attend inpatient alcohol treatment. AEW tweeted, "Mox is back." Appearing for the first time in nearly 3 months, former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley makes his long-awaited return to AEW Dynamite. Moxley's return will undoubtedly have a major impact on the booking direction for the promotion's main event. Prior to his departure, there were rumors that the popular star might be headed for a heel turn. If so, could this set up a variety of interesting matches, including a battle with AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page? What do you guys think is next for Mox? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a big angle for Cody Rhodes. The rumors of Cody Rhodes working without a contract in AEW have fans speculating what's next, ranging from unlikely scenarios like Rhodes appearing at the Royal Rumble to more plausible possibilities like Rhodes and AEW working the fans with the storyline of Rhodes contemplating an AEW exit. As exciting as the Royal Rumble rumors are for some fans, the consensus is that he would have no reason for returning other than a fleet of cash-stuffed Brinks trucks pulling up to his house. Things are getting interesting though, as Reddit user GrandWasabi972, nice name, has posted a message he claims Cody Rhodes sent to his phone contacts. Here are the messages that have some fans talking. "Let's do something big this Wednesday and bet on yourself always." Cody's alleged message of doing something big on Wednesday ties in with AEW announcing that the TNT champion will return on the 19th January 2022 Dynamite. This return will likely lead to a big angle involving Rhodes and his AEW future. It could also involve the question of how AEW will resolve there being a TNT champion and an interim TMT champion. While we're confident that Rhodes is staying in AEW, it's also certain that the promotion has some sort of work shoot planned. What do you think is next for the American Nightmare? Next up, Alexa Bliss pleads with fans. Now, speaking of changes, some WWE fans are uncertain what the direction is for Alexa Bliss now that she's undergoing counseling as part of a storyline addressing her past supernatural storyline and fixation on her doll Lily. The counseling segments have been confusing to fans for a number of reasons, particularly as to the question of whether Bliss's Lily doll was real. The two WWE vignettes seem to suggest that Bliss's Lily doll was imaginary, despite fans seeing it on a weekly basis, and whether Bliss will return to her demon doll character or something else. And now Little Miss Bliss herself is preaching patience for the WWE Universe, tweeting, "Sometimes you just need to be patient and see how things play out." And one of the problems is that it's entirely possible that the WWE currently has no idea how Bliss's storyline will play out. Given their track record of bad storylines, is it any wonder that some fans are taking Spider-Man No Way Home MJ's advice? If you expect disappointment, then you can never really be disappointed. Next up, some are Rae angry with WWE. It looks like the WWE's announcement that former WWE superstars headed to this year's Women's Royal Rumble didn't go over well with the former star of Total Divas, as some wanted it to be a surprise. Co-winner of the Wrestling Observer newsletter's Worst Work Match of 2013 discussed her feelings during an appearance on Renee Young's Oral Sessions podcast. Then they called me last Friday and said, "Vince wants to announce a couple of people tonight and he's thinking about announcing you, just a heads up." I hadn't told anyone because I didn't want anyone to ruin the surprise. When it happened, I was a little taken aback. That stinks. It was supposed to be a surprise. She elaborated, telling Renee that she hopes to reignite her Total Divas feud with Natalya. Also in my head I was like, I'm gonna use this to market the crap out of me and what I'm doing. When I'm in the gym, it's Road to Rumble. I can reignite my beef with Natty. Bayley wrote to me and started putting me over. I would love to have a Total Divas moment and maybe a spot with Natty and then wave to my friends. The WWE's decision to announce several surprise entrants has us puzzled and even angered both fans and wrestlers. SmackDown superstar Sheamus recently spoke with Talk Is Sport about the situation. I know this year they've announced a lot of contestants for the Women's Royal Rumble. I like the fact that they just show up. I'm not a huge fan of telling people who's going to be in there. I think the men's one is a bit more secretive. They've announced like 10 people who are on the active roster. On the women's side, there are a lot of girls coming back. It shows how much they've missed the product and missed being in the ring. Do you think the WWE should be more secretive about entrants and creating surprises for its fans? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up is a superstar leaving WWE. Could NXT 2.0 superstar Roderick Strong be on his way out? Well, the last remaining member of the Undisputed Era is believed to have re-upped with the WWE in 2021, but the Wrestling Observer Live's Brian Alvarez thinks Strong could be gone soon. A welter will be facing Roderick Strong on Tuesday night. God, I hope they give this match time. I don't know what the future is for Roderick Strong, because, you know, Roderick Strong was the Cruiserweight champion. They're getting rid of the Cruiserweight belt. Clearly they don't want cruiserweights, and I believe Roderick Strong just opened up a PWT store, so I don't know what the future is for this guy. Ringside News' Michael Perry discussed Strong opening up a store as a sign he knows his WWE career is winding down. With the WWE having removed nearly every Triple H related hire from the former Black and Gold brand, Strong's exit seems more likely. If the WWE releases Strong, Undisputed Era fans will be eager to see whether Strong joins Adam Cole, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly in AEW. But while AEW's roster is already loaded, the prospect of having all 4 members of the popular NXT faction in the company may be too much for Tony Khan to resist. Do you think Roderick Strong's WWE days are numbered? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, a musical guest announced for next week's NXT. And last but not least, the WWE is continuing its practice of featuring musical acts that you haven't heard of, but this time with the announcement that the hip-hop artist Ollie J will perform. According to AllMusic, Jay is known for his song Imagination, which features Joe the Dentist, not to be confused with current AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker or Isaac Yankem DDS. We're unfamiliar with her body of work, but are you guys? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.